Hello and welcome back to Shoogly Shed Motors. Apologies for the delay in getting an episode out to you guys. I've just been kind of squirreling away in the background here in the shed getting some things finished off. So I've actually gone ahead and painted the tank and the panels and the fender and the rear cowl. The reason I've not filmed it and the reason I haven't made an episode about the painting in particular is because I feel like I've done that to death. I've done quite a few videos on painting motorbike parts, so I thought it might be a little bit more exciting to just do a paint reveal rather than kind of showing you the process, because it's just the same process I've used in the past when painting tanks. So yeah, that's kind of my plan today, is a bit of a paint reveal, get the panels fitted up and see if we can fire this thing up. So before I reveal the panels, I'm going to have a go at trying to get the bike started. Now, I have in the background just kind of checked a couple of wee things. I've, kind of confident it will go, but it is a kickstart only, and then it's one of these things with a kickstart only bike, trying to start it for the first time, you get tired leg. It's easier with a starter motor. We can just turn it over and over and over until the thing eventually kicks into life. But hopefully with a little bit of determination we can get it going, and then get the panels fitted up. And then the bike is more or less done, which is pretty exciting. So without further ado, let's see if we can sort of just check the fundamental things, the spark, compression, fuel, etc., and then get this bike running. Okay, first things first, let's get the spark plug out. And let's check for spark. So spark plug back in the cap. Bike's obviously on. So this is a bit of a tricky thing to do with a kickstart. Don't know if that's going to be visible. Probably that's the most visible for you guys. Let's have a look, see if we can do this. Right, so we do have a spark there. It's not the strongest spark in the world, but it is a spark. It should be sufficient to get this bike running. So that's one thing ticked off. While I've got the spark plug out, I'll put a compression tester in it and see if we can find out what compression we're getting with the engine. Right, compression tester screwed into the spark plug hole. Plug it into the gauge. So again, this is going to be quite tricky to do. Right. Didn't you see that? The gauge is reading out at about 125 psi, a little over 130 maybe. It's not bad, so let's just do it one more time. So for compression test, we've got the throttle wide open, and it's tricky to do with a kickstart, but good, same again, 125, 130. It's not crazy compression, but you have to remember the engine's just been rebuilt, so the valve seats and the piston rings and things haven't quite worn in, which will obviously increase the compression a bit more. But that's not bad. So with that compression reading and a spark, if there's fuel getting to the engine, we should get a running engine. Right, let's put the spark plug back in to the engine. With spark plugs, I always start them by hand before I use any kind of battery ratchet. Obviously it would be a disaster to strip the spark plug hole or cross thread it, so just nip that up. want the spark plug cap back on. Like that. So we have spark and compression. The one thing missing is fuel to the carburetor. Right, so fuel source, we've got an auxiliary fuel tank, fuel bottle, which is going to go into the feed for the carburetor. There. I'm going to get a wee hose clip on that because it's not the tightest fitting. Right, turn the fuel on. Check that for any leaks. Looks okay to me. Right, I've also got the air filter out just now, because I think we might need a little bit of easy start or something like that to help it on its way for its first start. But it's the ignition on. It's on run. Let's see how we get on here. Let's give it a choke. Okay. I hate kickstart only bikes. What's wrong with the starter motor? Beautiful. So good. So good. That's sounding brilliant. Well, I am over the moon with that. That's running great. Seems to be pretty good on fuel as well. It's been running quite a while there, not really gone through all of this little auxiliary fuel tank yet. I'm going to turn that off just now. The next thing I'm going to do is just quickly pop off the valve inspection holes and just double check that oil's getting to the top of the engine. Aside from that, what more do you want? It's running. I'm dead chuffed, dead chuffed. Right, let's crack these off. Oh, they're hot. Have a look. That looks nice and oily in there, which is what we want. Check the back one as well. Loads of oil in there. Fabulous. So the other things I'm going to check, I'm going to check that the regulator rectifier is working, i.e. charging the battery while the bike's running. And I'm also going to check the oil level, just to see. I slightly overfilled it because I knew that the galleries and things still had to get oil into them. So I just want to check that those aren't, well, the final oil level's okay now that it's been run. And then I want to maybe pull the spark plug out and just have a quick look at the condition of it, just if I get an early indication of how the bike's running. I won't really know any of the finer details until it's out on the road and a couple of miles under it, because all these the wearables, the piston rings and valve seats and stuff need to kind of make together a little bit when the bike's been running for a wee bit longer. It's just the case with a fresh rebuild. But the fact the bike's running is a huge box ticked, so I'm super chuffed about that. Right, so spark plug's out. It's a little bit fouled on this side and a little bit less fouled on that side for some reason, but it's hard to tell because I had sprayed a little bit of Easy Start into the engine to try and get it started. So it might be the case that it's a little bit fouled from that. So I'm going to clean it up and put it back in. In fact, the bike's running okay, and that kind of is all the information I need. So yeah, we'll give this a wee clean, stick it back in the bike. Right, the bike's running, and I'm going to check the condition of the reg-rec. So we're looking for between sort of 13, 14.5 volts. Yep, 14.3, 14.4. We'll give it a little blip on the throttle, make sure it doesn't go mental. Yep, stays really consistent at about 14.4 volts. So that is top marks. Right, so the next thing to do, sort the seat out. I bought a generic seat cover. I'm not going for anything super fancy, it's just a stock seat cover to cover the old one. I find it quite interesting that after I removed the original cover, it has actually been recovered in 1987. So that's a little bit of history there. So I might put a little bit of marker pen on this to say that I've recovered it in 2024. Right, my weapons of choice for this recovering is some spray adhesive. Nothing fancy, just the stuff you get in a can. Although it's not entirely necessary, it just stops the cover slipping. First of all, I'm going to turn the cover the right way round, because obviously it's been stitched inside out so that the seams are hidden. Let's get it roughly in the right position. Hook the front over. Pull the back over, again turning it the right way around. I really hope Tom Hurley's not watching because we're having kittens. Sorry, Tom. Right, the last thing is the strap to go over, and it goes over just about there. Got these little rubber backed washers, and they'll hopefully stop the they'll stop the washer when it gets tightened down from splitting the vinyl. Second one. Oh, I think that looks the business. Perfect. So the seat has the plastic cowl bit bolted onto the back of it now, so that's what I'll get next. And I can't really hide it any longer. I need to reveal the colour. So eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed a couple of little glimpses in the background of this video, but here we go. this is what we've gone for. So, apart from the fact it's a little bit dusty, it's a metallic, kind of maroon, deep red, nice glossy metallic. It's quite hard to show it on camera, to be honest, and it's all covered in my greasy fingerprints. But also got the Honda logos. The tank's been done in the same colour, front mudguard in the same colour, and the side panels in the same colour with the CB250RS decals. So hopefully you like that, and hopefully it'll look good on the bike. This needs to now get basically screwed onto the underside of the seat before we can put the tank on, seat on, side panels, and then we're kind of, well, buttoning the bike up really. Well, that's pretty much it. The CB250RS sort of quick resto mod project. Fought me at every turn, especially the engine rebuild, but I am really chuffed with the outcome for that. Low budget, shed built, quality little resto mod. It's the 1st of December and it's dark outside already, so unfortunately getting shots of it outside the shed will have to wait for another day. But I will do a time lapse of the whole build, and I'll make sure that I get the bike out in the sunlight and get some nice shots of it to add into that footage, so you can get a proper good look at it before I probably look to move this on to a new home. I always intended on selling this bike when it was finished, so yeah, I'll be sad to see it go. I'll make sure to get it out on the road a little bit and get a couple of shots on it before I let it go. But now that I know it's running, everything's on it now, I can start to maybe advertise it and free up some finances, which would be nice, because I have another big project in mind, which I will talk about in future episodes. Thanks to everyone who's kind of supported me throughout this build and been interested. It's been a little bit of a break from the norm of doing like long-term show build bikes, that kind of thing. This has been a few months worth of work, but in terms of bike restorations, that's pretty quick. And then obviously we've kind of gone a few modifications, but tried to keep the original 80s styling. And yeah, I hope you like the colour. I hope you like the finished article. Hope you like the wheels, and yeah, hope you like the sound of the engine. I think it sounds really cool. I love that kind of single cylinder thump. So yeah, I'd be excited to get it out on the road a little bit. It's obviously getting towards winter, so it's not ideal riding conditions, but I will try and do something like that in the near future for you guys. Anyway, as usual, please do give me a like, leave me a comment, and make sure you subscribe to the Shoogly Shed channel. I appreciate all the support. I'm not sure when I'll get another episode out to you guys. It basically depends on, you know, what I can get started on, and obviously it's getting into the festive period, so things start to slow down a little bit, but I will try and get something sooner rather than later so that you're not hanging on too long. And like I said, I'll get a time-lapse video of this bike done and out to you as well. Take care. Goodbye.